snow out there now. First snow of the year. But we're inside. It's warm here inside the barn, and we're taking a look at my guitars. It's funny to be surrounded by them like this. It's like a photo album. I have associations with all of these guitars. My first guitar actually isn't in here. It's missing. It was bought for me when I was 12 years old. I badgered my parents into letting me give up on the cello and start playing guitar, and it was bought from the Schirmer Music Company. It was their sort of store brand guitar, made of laminate, like a plywood guitar, sort of a classical type gut string guitar. But it was good enough to get me started, to start talking to me. My brother Alex eventually hung it up by one of its own strings and spray painted it blue, and raised the nut and the bridge to make it into a slide guitar. So I never played it again. But by that time I'd moved on to this guitar, which I bought in it's a Gibson J50, and I bought it in a music store in Durham, North Carolina, and it was such a step up. Such a great guitar, and I wrote my first songs on it, Something the Way She Moves, Fire and Rain, Carolina in My Mind. It accompanied me through a decade or so of constantly having it with me and playing on it all the time. And it forgave me a lot of abuse. I left it in the trunk of my car at one point, and the temperature went down to -10, and the entire finish of it became cracked and crinkled, but still it sounded great. Until a friend recommended that I amplify it by, I had been sticking these Barkus Berry transducer pickups to the outside of the guitar and amplifying it that way, and he recommended that I install something called hot dots. That they were a way of amplifying an acoustic guitar. It was a sort of dual transducer, and it didn't work. It ruined the guitar until Dave Merkin, who's behind that camera there, Dave took it to Danny Farrington in Los Angeles, and Danny miraculously returned it to its former glory. This guitar into a room in which Paul McCartney and George Harrison were sitting, willing to listen to me play Something in the Way She Moves. And so it's got amazing associations for me. It traveled with me halfway around the world, and I'm glad that it's still with me. But I played this guitar up until the recording of One Man Dog, and John McLaughlin had written a song called Someone, which we recorded, and he played beautiful guitar on. And the guitar he was playing was one of these. It was a White Book, made by Mark White Book in Southern California. He was a great guitar maker, and he made a couple of these guitars for me. He put my tattoo, I've got a tattoo on my shoulder. My sister Kate, when I was living in London recording there, my sister Kate came over, and she was fixated on getting a tattoo. She had made this little design, which was the sun, the moon and the ocean, which is a reproduction of this tattoo on my shoulder right here. See? Yeah, like that. And she insisted on getting this tattoo. But when we found a tattoo artist, the only way he would give my sister this tattoo is if I agreed to get it too. She had sold him on the idea of tattooing a woman by the fact that it was a family, sort of a family thing. And he said, okay, if it's a family thing, he gets it too. So I got this tattoo, and Mark Whitebook put it on the headstock of this guitar. I'm going to walk out of frame for a second. Hang on. Here's another guitar with that same, that my son Ben had made for me. It's made by Kenji Okamura in London. A beautiful little guitar that Ben gave me as a present. Anyway, this guitar I played. I think the first album I recorded with it was Walking Man, so it was probably it was written on it. Probably written on this guitar, surely was written on this guitar. And I continued playing this guitar until it became community property for a while, and I lost it in the early 80s. And I needed a guitar that could be amplified on stage. This one didn't have a pickup in it yet, and so I bought a Takamine, which was sort of just a brand guitar. Mass-produced guitar, but a good one. Japanese guitar with a pickup already built into it, and this was sort of a step. It served us really well for a while. Served me well. I don't think I ever recorded with it, but I definitely played it live for a couple of years. It has a simple volume and tone control on it, and but eventually I got a hold of this Yamaha guitar, and in the mid '80s, and Yamaha also made me a custom guitar, put my name on the back. But this was the guitar that the first Yamaha that I played, and they did really well for me. They were a good guitar. Very bright sounding guitar, and again it had a pickup built into it, amplified really well. We would cover the hole to this to keep the feedback down. But nice sort of every man's guitar. Did the job. I was doing a benefit tour with Edgar Meyer and Jerry Douglas and Tom Rohde and Arnold and Kate and David Lasley, and we were playing in Minneapolis. And when I checked into the hotel in Minneapolis, I guess it probably was around 1989, this guitar was in my room. Just a guitar case on the bed. I opened it up and this guitar was in it, and I've never looked back. This is my first Olson guitar, and it's just an excellent instrument. James has made me 5 or 6 different guitars. I have this is a cutaway version, although I never get that far up the neck. I should put a sort of a stylized spider web in here because I never get up there. But it was so clear and so consistent, and it amplified so beautifully that I've stuck with James ever since. He has a large workshop fabrication line there in his backyard in St. Paul, which is really the other part of his genius, is being able not only to make a beautiful guitar, but to manufacture them. He did a great job. The other thing about the Olson is that it's got a wide neck. It's wider than any of these. And I find that more comfortable. It's not as wide as a classical guitar, but it's really, and they're so consistent, really, and they really, they handle the road well. Okay, well, that brings us almost up to the end of this arcane minutia we're giving you about the guitars and anything else you want to know about. But there's one left. This is, actually, between that blue guitar and this guitar, actually between this guitar, yeah, between the blue guitar and this guitar, there was also a Fender Duosonic that I played with the Fabulous Corsairs, the sound that abounds with musical style. Somebody made up a card that said that on it. I think it was the organ player, Cam Shinnon. Anyway, I played it in the Flying Machine too. It was a lovely little Duosonic guitar, twin pickup, small guitar, very easy to play. That was my little electric phase, and this is my current electric. This is a guitar made by Seymour Duncan. Actually, it's made by Fender. Their custom shop, but it's Seymour Duncan's design for a Telecaster. It was originally an Esquire with a single pickup, but he added this lipstick pickup for me here, this single coil pickup here, to turn it into a Tele. And it's an excellent guitar. The rare thing about it is that the neck is as wide on this guitar as it is on my Olson. No kidding. Swear to God. Hand on the Bible, stack of Bibles, as wide as my Olson, and that's a rare thing in an electric guitar to find one with a neck that wide, and it makes me love this guitar, and other things too about it are great. The electronics of it are Seymour Duncan's own. And it really is, he made a great, I'm trying to find another one, so if you've got one, don't hold out on me. Really nice. And you know, that's it. The blue guitar, I wish it were still here. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has that guitar, and when they get something like that, they're like a dog on a bone. You can't get it back. But that's all right. I'm glad they want it. That's flattering that they want to have that as part of their exhibit there in Cleveland. That beautiful Iron Pay building that the town of Cleveland paid for some reason.